Do you ever feel like you can't fully relax? Like you can't really truly rest? You feel like there's always something to do. There's always somewhere to go. There's some task that needs to be applied to, some objective that needs to be completed. You've got to achieve something. You've got to go somewhere. Maybe you found yourself saying things like, oh, there's not enough hours in the day. Or, yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay when I've got this done. I'll be okay in a few weeks when everything calms down. Maybe the kids are back at school. I've got a less busy time at work. And then I've got the major deadlines have been hit and I can just rest, just relax. Maybe you felt a little bit worn out. You felt a real need to rest and relax. So you've given yourself some space. You thought, right, I'm going to take some annual leave. I'm going to take some holiday. I'm going to take a bit of time off just for me. And then in that time off, very quickly, a sense of dis-ease starts to arise once you're not doing something. You try and relax, you try and put your feet up, maybe watch some TV, go for a walk, but you feel like, oh no, something's not quite right. There's feelings of maybe dissatisfaction or maybe loneliness, disconnection. I don't feel like I normally do when I'm working, when I feel like I've got purpose, even though I know that I need some time to rest. So I can't truly rest. I know. Maybe I'll clean the house. Okay, let's get that done. Let's clean the house. That'll make me feel better. So I clean the house, get it spick and span, everything's tidy and shiny. And I sit back down again. I get a cup of tea and I think, right, now I'm going to relax. And you might get a bit of peace for an hour or so, but then that feeling comes back again, the feeling of dissatisfaction, dis-ease, restlessness. And actually, maybe it's more than restlessness. Maybe that's the surface level. But actually, you know that underneath there's something a bit deeper going on, something a bit more fully felt. So then you find a new task to do. You maybe go out, you apply yourself again and again. You go from the well-needed rest of just being and sitting back into the habitual pattern of doing, of striving. Maybe you've spent most of your life doing all of the things that you thought you were supposed to do. You've applied yourself maybe in school, applied yourself in work, applied yourself in family. You've tried really hard to get the pieces of life to all fit together. So everything's completely orderly. Everything is exactly how it should be. I've now got a car. I've got a career. Maybe I've got a partner, some children. These are just examples, but I've got these situations and things in life, and I've worked really hard for them. So now I should feel some lasting ease, satisfaction, and happiness. Yet I still find myself feeling that sense of dis-ease. I may find a bit of stability for a while, but then life changes, situations change. Maybe I lose my job. Maybe my partner leaves me. Maybe illness befalls my family. And then those feelings of potentially sadness or overwhelm, the feelings that we don't really know what to do with arise again. We don't know what to do. So the only thing we know, the only thing we've been doing all of our lives is try. Okay, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and fix this. This feeling that is painful, I'm going to try and fix it. I'm going to try and change the situation. I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to work hard. Maybe you've done this one too many times and you've seen that actually the usual areas I go to in life for satisfaction, lasting happiness, like the car, the job, the partner, they don't really provide it. It's all very kind of material. Maybe that's not the answer at all. I've been investing all of my time into those areas of materialism. And in fact, I need to now explore a more spiritual dimension. Maybe that's where the answer lies. I've been applying my efforts in a wrong area, and now maybe I can go inside, maybe I can go inwards. I can explore a little bit more about what it means to be alive. So then you start investigating the spiritual, you could call it the spiritual dimension. Maybe find a video on YouTube, maybe Rupert Spira, or you read Eckhart Tolle, or maybe you've been traveling and you've been inspired by some of the Buddhist figures you've seen in Thailand. It could be that you've started a mindful movement practice, maybe yoga or something, and that starts feeling, oh yeah, this has got a different dimension to it. It's clearly not materialistic because I'm not getting anything from it, but I'm exploring something. Right, I'm going to apply myself there. And over the years, maybe a deeper sense of satisfaction starts to arise. It feels like, okay, now I've got a bit more balance. Now things are a little bit more secure, a little bit more stable. I've got a balance between the things of the world, the job, the career, the wife, the kids, and the spirit of being alive. This exploration of the mind, the body, and it feels like, yeah, I can do this now. I feel like I've got the tools I need to get by. I've got a balance between the spiritual life, the material life. Everything is kind of, locking together. I've not got lasting satisfaction necessarily, or lasting, everlasting happiness, but I've got stability. It feels like I've got stability. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Then life changes again. Maybe you lose somebody very dear to you. And when life changes, those feelings of dissatisfaction, those difficult emotions that we've been running from all of our lives, maybe pain, sorrow, loneliness, they arise again. We recognize that actually all of that striving in whatever area hasn't released me from feeling these difficult emotions. That can be difficult. That can be a difficult truth to realize, that actually I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, yet I still find myself subject to life's emotions. You see, the core issue, the thing that makes it so difficult to deal with, is that we made an error. We've made an error very early on in our life. And it's an error of judgment or an error of view that we've inherited generationally from our parents and from society around us. And that error is that the difficult emotions of life, the sadness, the loss, the grief, shouldn't be here. In fact, very early on, we're taught that emotions are not valuable. They're kind of a waste of time, really. They don't get things done. They distract us from productivity. What use is feeling deep, heartfelt sorrow for another being in raising profits or getting your homework done, for instance? So very early on, when naturally we encounter life and naturally emotions emerge in our being, we're often told, stop. Stop feeling so deeply. Stop succumbing to these negative parts of life. And get on with it. Come on, let's apply yourself. Get back to work. Let's disassociate from this natural part of life, this emotional sensitivity, and let's be productive. Now, the difficulty here is we cannot stop. And this is what we find throughout all our lives. This is the predicament we find ourselves again and again. We cannot stop being and feeling. These are the faculties we are born with. And these faculties exist within us naturally so that all of life can be met. And all of life can be met fully and felt fully. And the emotions of life can rise and fall through our system. They can move us and transform us, and then they can go again. But because of that error, because of that message we receive at the youngest of ages, that this is not okay, it shouldn't be like this, then we're left in a quandary. Where do you go? You can't stop being, and you can't stop feeling. So what do? Well, we take our cue from what's around us, and we see people that have retired into the recesses of mind identification. They're living, or we are taught to live, in a world of the mind, a storyline where we try and create some separation between the energy of now, the energy of being alive now, and the thoughts in our minds. So we try to retire into a thought world where we can manage life. And that thought world gives the illusion that we can manage life, that we can fix this. We can put things together in a certain way by predicting the future so that in the future I won't feel sorrow, I won't feel sadness, I won't feel unhappiness, I won't suffer loss. And when it doesn't work, because of course it can't work, it's just a thought really that this could work. Like I said, life keeps living, it keeps unfolding. So when it doesn't work, we think, well, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong. Like everybody else seems to, from this perspective, seems to be able to do this. They seem to be able to be happy and live life with ease, yet I keep bumping into these emotions again and again and again. And I don't know how to get rid of them. And of course, they were never to be got rid of. They're a natural part of being alive. So the only thing we do because of that error is we try harder. We think, right, okay, well, I need to try harder. I need to be a better dad. I need to figure things out more deeply. I need to read more, meditate more, look more deeply. Even when we get a feeling of the spiritual dimension, you could say, we start exploring awakening. I need to move towards awakening more quickly. I need to create something in the future that's not this. And because of that, again and again, we suffer and we suffer and we suffer. And we suffer because we're denying our natural ability for life to be lived through us, for emotions to be felt in this being, and for life to feel full. The emotions can be felt and they will resolve themselves. So once you get a flavor of the fact that actually all of that striving, all of that effort was just because of a slight error of judgment that I inherited, I'm completely able to be with however life is. Emotions will naturally arise and fall as life changes. When I lose somebody, I will feel sad, and that is natural. And I'm completely capable of dealing with those emotions as they arise and as they pass. As I have a child, or when I have a child, for instance, love will naturally blossom in my heart. And it will naturally arise again and again and again for the child that I love. I don't need to mitigate it through a story. I don't need to create imagined separation. So the more I get a feel for the truth of that, the more I can really begin to relax. I can feel right now, in any given moment, my feet on the floor, the breath coming in and going out of my body. I can hear the sounds arising and ceasing of nature, not needing anything to make them arise or needing them to be pushed away for them to cease. I can see the light coming into my eyes. I can feel the sense of being right here, right now. And I can know that in this moment, when I relax into this moment, there's nothing to fix. There's never been anything to fix. I have never been broken. You have never been broken. We will never be broken.